The story of one of the greatest billionaires of the 21st century did not begin smoothly. Jeffrey Preston Jorgensen was born in 1964 in Albuquerque, New Mexico, when his mother, Jacqueline Geis, was only 17 and still in high school. His parents' marriage quickly fell apart before the boy was even 2 years old. The first turning point in his life came when Jacqueline remarried Miguel "Mike" Bezos, a Cuban immigrant who had arrived in the U.S. alone at the age of 16 without knowing a single word of English. Mike adopted Jeff, gave him the surname Bezos, and raised him with unconditional love. It wasn't until he was 10 years old that Jeff learned Mike was not his biological father, but to him, Mike Bezos has always been his only father. Ever since he was a toddler, Jeff exhibited a burning curiosity about how the world works. The most famous anecdote tells that at just 3 years old, wanting to sleep in a big bed like an adult instead of a crib, little Jeff took a screwdriver and tried to dismantle the bars of his crib himself. That curiosity continued to be nurtured during the summers Jeff spent at his grandfather's ranch in Texas. Here, under the scorching sun, the boy learned how to vaccinate cattle and repair broken-down tractors. And, most importantly, he learned the philosophy of self-reliance. If something breaks, you have to figure out how to fix it yourself. His innate brilliance led Jeff Bezos to the prestigious Princeton University, with an initial dream of becoming a theoretical physicist. However, after solving a complex quantum math problem, Bezos realized he was surrounded by brilliant minds who could see through numbers in a way he could not. With a practical mindset, he quickly shifted his focus to computer science and electrical engineering, a decision that would change history. Graduating with honors, Bezos headed straight for Wall Street. At the hedge fund D.E. Shaw, his acumen and sharp analytical thinking helped him ascend at a dizzying pace, becoming the company's youngest vice president in his 20s. He had everything an ordinary person could dream of: a massive salary, a position of power, and a smart, sharp newlywed wife, Mackenzie Tuttle. But then, in the spring of 1994, a single statistic derailed everything from its safe trajectory: 2,300%. That was the annual growth rate of something still in its infancy called the World Wide Web. Bezos stood at a crossroads. Should he abandon his dazzling career on Wall Street to plunge into a computer network that most people at the time barely understood? To make his decision, Bezos imagined himself at the age of 80, looking back on his life. Would he regret leaving Wall Street and losing his year-end bonus? No. But would he regret not participating in this thing called the internet, a great revolution that could change humanity? Definitely yes. And so, Jeff Bezos decided to step into the darkness of uncertainty. In the summer of 1994, Jeff and Mackenzie packed their belongings into a Chevy Blazer and drove across America from New York to Seattle. Mackenzie drove, while Jeff sat in the passenger seat, clacking away on a laptop to write a business plan for something called an online bookstore. Amazon was born in a rented garage in Bellevue, a suburb of Seattle. To save costs, Bezos bought old wooden doors, attached 4 legs of scrap wood, and turned them into desks. These door desks later became a classic symbol of Amazon's frugal culture. Amazon's initial success attracted massive attention, leading the company to go public in 1997. Bezos now harbored a bigger ambition. Amazon would not just sell books. He wanted it to become the everything store, selling CDs, electronics, toys, and anything else people needed. The company's slogan at the time was "Get Big Fast." But the storm hit. In the early 2000s, the dot-com bubble burst. A series of internet companies went bankrupt. Amazon's stock plummeted from over $100 to just about $6. Financial experts mocked the company as Amazon.toast. In the darkest of times, Jeff Bezos remained steadfast to a single philosophy: customer obsession. He didn't care about competitors. He only cared about how to deliver faster, at a cheaper price, and with better service for buyers. He left an empty chair in every important meeting and told his executives, "That is the seat of the customer, the most important person in this room." That resilience saved Amazon. By cutting internal costs simultaneously launching a free shipping program, Amazon survived the downturn and began to turn a profit. Had Amazon stopped merely at online retail, Bezos would already be a legend, but the curiosity of the crib-dismantling boy from years ago never ceased. When he realized that Amazon's technological infrastructure was too powerful, Bezos decided, why not lease this excess server capacity to other companies? From that crazy idea, Amazon Web Services was born in 2006. Today, AWS is the backbone of the global internet, providing the platform for millions of enterprises from Netflix to the CIA, and bringing in the majority of the corporation's massive profits. Next came Amazon Prime, a paid subscription for fast two-day delivery at a time when waiting a whole week for delivery was the norm. Internally, the company fiercely opposed it because shipping costs would eat away all profits, but Bezos believed it would permanently change humanity's shopping habits. He was right. Prime created absolute loyalty from customers. Then came the Kindle e-reader and the virtual assistant, Alexa. These inventions all stemmed from Bezos's willingness to accept costly failures, like the Fire Phone disaster, to find the next goose that lays golden eggs. When Amazon had become a giant, Jeff Bezos began turning his gaze towards a different space. Few people know that in his high school graduation speech, the 18-year-old Jeff Bezos spoke of building space stations where humans could live in outer space in order to preserve the Earth. That dream materialized in 2000 when he secretly founded Blue Origin, an aerospace company. Unlike the boisterousness of Elon Musk's SpaceX, Blue Origin advanced following the motto of the turtle, step by step, ferociously. Bezos sold billions of dollars in Amazon stock each year just to fund Blue Origin. To him, this was truly his life's most important work. The pinnacle of this journey was on July 20, 2021, when Jeff Bezos, along with his brother Mark, 18-year-old student Oliver Diamond, and 82-year-old aviation pioneer Wally Funk, boarded the New Shepard capsule and flew to the edge of space. Upon landing, he stepped out of the capsule with a cowboy hat on his head and a radiant smile, the smile of a little boy who had finally touched the stars. In 2021, exactly 24 years after departing in the Chevy Blazer from New York, Jeff Bezos announced his resignation as Chief Executive Officer of Amazon, handing the position to his right-hand man, Andy Jassy. In the role of executive chairman, he stepped away from day-to-day management to focus on Blue Origin, the $10 billion philanthropic Bezos Earth Fund aimed at combating climate change, and the Washington Post newspaper, which he purchased in 2013. Jeff Bezos's life is not without controversy. He has faced harsh criticism regarding the working conditions of laborers in Amazon's massive warehouses, the tax contributions of the ultra-rich, and the collapse of his 25-year marriage to Mackenzie Scott. But setting the controversies aside, his profound impact on humanity is undeniable. From an idea in a garage with desks cobbled together from old doors, Bezos completely reshaped the digital economy. His story is the most vivid proof that when you combine ironclad intellect, an ultimate obsession with the human experience, and the courage to never have any regrets, you can change the world. That is the life of Jeff Bezos, a man who always believes that every day we wake up, we are all living in day one of the future.